It's always been in the back of my mind over the last couple of months, really, that I should really go back to making content just because I do find it helps me deal with these issues, to be honest. It helps me sort of process them, and it does do me the benefit of actually being able to speak against them because it shows myself that I actually can speak against them and I can articulate why it's wrong. Plus, I don't really get much traction on YouTube. It picked up before I stopped making content recently, but on TikTok I get a lot of engagement, which is good. And TikTok's kind of just highlights, really. If you're watching on TikTok, just go follow my YouTube channel. You'll get more videos eventually. But I've not posted many videos, any videos actually, over the last couple of months, just because I've been absolutely swamped with my shoot job. Like a lot of people, I'm not special or anything. Like a lot of people, the end of this year has just been particularly hard in terms of everything that needs to be done, as not only has sort of life started to normalise, but then it's unnormalised really quickly over the last few weeks with Omicron. So yeah, just getting on top of that now and getting into the holiday season. I thought I have a little bit of time now. I do have to do a little bit of work during the holidays, unfortunately, but I'll get on with that maybe after I've made merry. But I thought, given the time off, I've got some time to make some more videos, so I'm going to put some effort in, and I'm going to do 12 issues of Christmas. And we're going to start with the first issue, which is, in general, partisanship. Partisanship is where you stick to one party and you are diehard that party. Nothing's going to shake your following of that party. And that's a cancer. It's something that affects both Britain and the US, I've found. Probably other countries as well, but those are the two countries I'm really familiar with to any extent. In America, it's you're Democrat or you're Republican. And if you are Republican, you cannot criticise Republicans. No, you have to stick with them. If you're Democrat, you cannot criticise the Democrats. That's the general idea. That's the feeling, not amongst the politicians, really, but amongst the people who vote for them. And there are exceptions, of course, and those people who are exceptions are called sensible people. And in Britain, it's Labour and Conservative, but it's just the same. My issue with partisanship is essentially you are giving one party your undying loyalty. You're saying they can never lose your vote. You're always going to vote for them regardless of what they do. And the problem is, when they head in really fucking horrible directions, you don't have the critical thinking skills to actually say, and now I'm pulling myself away. I'm going to criticise them. Weirdly, you don't see this happening on the left, really. Before anyone says, fucking, oh, what about Joe Biden? What about Obama? What about Jeremy Corbyn? No, with every single one of those examples, yeah, maybe centrists were diehard for them and would never criticise them and would treat any criticism of them as if you were pro the other side. But no, leftists don't do that. Leftists attack Obama all the time and criticise him all the time. Leftists are currently attacking Keir Starmer, quite, and justifiably as well, for some of the horrible things he's doing while leader of the opposition. Jeremy Corbyn, yeah, he actually wasn't criticised much because all of his policies were, on the face of things, really good. If he made it a Prime Minister, he would be getting criticised for not delivering on promises if he didn't deliver on them. 100%, I would have. So, like I said, I don't think it's an issue of the left, at least as far as I'm aware. Issue in the centre, issue on the right. And then this video comes in. So, which is the other part of this, not just partisanship, but also the Tories is the other issue. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, you complain about partisanship, and then here you are saying, oh, Tories are bad. Yeah, unironically, the Tories are bad at the moment. I don't think in my lifetime there's been a party more evil than this current iteration of the Tories. My problem is, this is where this video comes in, people don't seem that awake to some of the things the Tories have done, the horrible things they've done. And those that are, if the Tory voters anyway, are simply giving them a pass, which is where this video comes in. So over the last few weeks, I would actually say criticism of the Tory party generally has gone up, because last year, when COVID restrictions were in place, and it affected what people did over Christmas, like, you couldn't mix households, basically. So, in Britain, people were celebrating Christmas in a very different way. Some celebrated it on their own. Some families couldn't see the grandparents because that was mixing households. You couldn't have friends getting together in the lead up or aftermath of Christmas. It was just a bit of a miserable time for a lot of people. It turns out what was happening while people lived like that in that situation is the Tories did not follow COVID restrictions. And they were covertly getting together in 10 Downing Street, the house of the Prime Minister, and they were having their own Christmas parties. And there's photos that are being revealed now of people just gathered in for posing for photos, not just pictures taken candidly. They're posing for photos. When the Tory spokesperson was asked about it by a journalist, she kind of laughed about it and made a joke about it, and it was just seen as really bad taste that not only have they got a sort of one rule for you, one rule for them kind of situation going, but they're also laughing about it. They find it hilarious that we had to stick to the rules and they didn't. So people started to criticise them, rightly so. It's just a bit annoying that they didn't criticise them for the other stuff, the other actual horrible stuff they did. But if this is what breaks the Tories, and I doubt it will, then I'm all for it. But then Joe comes in. Joe's mainly a Facebook-based channel, social media-based channel, who are very populist in their approach. They're quite centrist, but none of the stuff's really offensive. It's basically just a lot of what are the people saying. And they're asking a very simple question here. Are you still going to vote for the Tories? Let's just get into it. Let's see what they have to say.
Is there anything that would turn you against Boris Johnson that would perhaps change your mind?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think Boris Johnson should resign?
No.
Can you think
So that's your issue straight away. This is what I'm getting at with partisanship. Is there anything Boris Johnson could do that means you stop voting for them? No, I don't think so. And I'm not being very charitable here, sorry. So what he probably means is I don't think there's anything he would realistically do that I would then decide to take my vote away from him. But the way it's phrased sounds a little bit sinister than that. He could literally do anything and I will still vote for him. But the problem is, given the stuff he's already done, even before being Prime Minister, and you are voting for him, that means that bar is really, really low. So realistically, there is nothing he could actually do that you'd vote against. That's bad. You shouldn't give a politician, any politician, that kind of leeway. You should be on them. If they're doing stuff that is demonstrably bad, not just for you, but for the country, then yeah, you should be attacking that. You shouldn't give them a free pass. It's pretty sinister that he'd say, no, nothing he could do at all that I'd vote against. Anyway, let's keep going.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think Boris Johnson should resign?
No.
Can you think of a good thing that Boris Johnson has accomplished?
Not really.
David, did you have a Christmas party last
So one of the big things I notice about people who are really loyal to certain politicians is they can never answer that question in anything more than a general way. Trumpites were the worst for it. What good has Trump done? He's taken the country back. He's made America great again. It's okay to say Merry Christmas again on theme. No, what specific thing has he done? How has he made your life easier? How has he made other people's lives easier? What's he actually specifically done? And I do find with Trump and with Boris Johnson and with Keir Starmer as well, for those that defend him, they can't tell you anything specific. It's always very general. And that's a problem. You need to have higher expectations of your politicians. What specifically have they done? Once again, if you can't answer that question, then all you're telling me is that you are not paying attention. You're ignorant to it, and as long as your guy is winning, you're happy with it, and that's another issue with partisanship. This idea that, oh, my side won. All right, we're both living in the same country under the same rules. It's not a team game, especially if I'm arguing with someone who's got a lot in common with me. Are we both white working class? For a start, probably. How is your life so significantly different from me that the rules of the country will apply differently to you? Probably not. So if we are both suffering in the same way, as a lot of people currently are in this country, why do you think it's good that your guy's in, but I think it's bad? Makes no sense, does it? I can only take from that you're suffering in the same way, but you just don't care because the person you voted for won, and that means you won. Alright, well, enjoy your victory while your wage stays low and your rights disappear. Well done. This is the problem with Brexit. You lost, get over it. That was the catchphrase. No, I didn't. I wasn't up on the ballot. It was Brexit or no Brexit. Brexit got more votes. Yeah, okay. We're both now dealing with the consequences. How have you won? Partisanship. Anyway, I think the video is now asking about the party.
Yeah.
No.
So this is
an indoor gamer, so not really much changed to me last year.
It was just you and your wife left.
That's the very definition of I'm alright, Jack. Didn't affect me, not that bothered. I'm not even going to criticise his appearance, or the fact that he's just the absolute. This is like a cartoon character. There's just let's get a proper unwashed person with a terrible beard. I don't know why I'm talking about someone's appearance for. Eating a pizza. Let's put him in a position where he hangs himself, basically. Oh, fuck's sake. But his opinions are dog shit, and I see this all the time. They're deporting people of other nationalities. They're stripping them of their British nationality. Oh well, I'm white, and all my family are from Britain, so it doesn't really affect me, does it? Okay, well, the elderly are having a shit time. To actually afford like healthcare now in your old age, you have to sell your house and stuff. Oh well, I'm not old, so it doesn't really affect me, does it? The benefit system is shocking, and like disabled people are being forced into work that they can't safely do, and a lot of people are actually dying because of it, or having major health problems because of it. Well, I'm not disabled, so it doesn't really affect me, does it? Well, wages are stagnated. Like, people are working harder than ever, but the pay's not shown for it. And as a result, the working poverty is so high, including children who are starving. Oh, well, I don't have kids or have a job, so it doesn't really affect me, does it? Fuck off. If you don't have the basic empathy to recognise when a policy is affecting the people around you, even if it doesn't affect you personally, and to recognise, well, it's bad, therefore it shouldn't be happening, then you once again, you're lost. You're a prick, essentially. You're a little prick. And yeah, fuck off. How about that? Just fuck off. Fuck off into the sea. We're 20 seconds in.
Not really much changed to me last year.
It was just you and your wife last year.
Was, yes.
But you must have missed your grandkids and your children.
We did, but they're all close, so
you see
we
them
can
fairly.
them through windows and everything. So
That must have been quite difficult though, only seeing them through windows.
it was a bit, yes, not like normal hugs and everything, but
What do you make of the Christmas party?
So he was affected by the COVID restrictions. It made his Christmas noticeably worse. He suffered in some extent from it. Not saying it was a life or death situation, but he has actively just said there he had a bad experience because of the COVID restrictions, and yet he doesn't see a problem in what the Tories did. He probably doesn't believe they actually did it. That's a problem.
that Downing Street seem to have had.
I think it's one rule for them, one rule for us.
Yes.
It's disappointing, really, what I think of him. Like Boris, BJ. Oh, you shouldn't say that.
Ah, very funny.
I think they're making so much fuss. Just move on.
Do you think?
Oh, they're making so much fuss. Move off. Fuck off. This is a big issue. This is quite a common argument where the official statement was actually, or as the police statement, caress a dick. Legit, the name of the, like, I don't even know a job title, sorry, but caress a dick. Said, oh, we're not in the habit as police to investigate things that happened in the past. You're the fucking police? That's all crime? If I ring you up and say someone's burgled my house, are you going to say, oh, when did it happen? Oh, like probably like an hour ago? Oh, well, that was in the past. We don't investigate the past. Tell me if it's going to happen again in the future, and we'll preemptively get there, but otherwise we don't investigate things in the past. Fuck off. What a lazy excuse for just, I'm going to pretend it's not an issue. Oh, just move on. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, they've learned the lesson. They're not going to do it again. Yeah, they fucking are, because they're going to keep getting away with it.
Do you not kind of think that the outrage is perhaps justified, considering people had quite miserable Christmases and they seem to have been laughing at them almost?
Well, to be honest, it's what you have to make it yourself anyway, quite frankly. We were all in the same boat.
But the Tories weren't.
For sure what went on. And I just think a year on now, I just think it's...
Head in the sand, doesn't give a shit.
Verdict's still out on that.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah. I mean, nothing's confirmed, have they, about the party, so...
Are you voting for the first time next week?
I am, yes.
How are you going to vote?
Pen and paper.
I'll probably vote for the Tories, to be honest.
Do you usually vote Tories?
Yeah.
There's kind of been a litany of things that perhaps the Conservatives haven't done very well in government. Is there anything that would turn you off them?
Not really.
Will you be voting in the by-election next week?
Yes, we will be.
By the way, by-election has happened. Tories were trounced. Liberal Democrats won. Lol.
Do you mind if I ask who you'd be voting for?
Labour.
Voting Labour? Do you
Yes.
vote Labour?
No.
What, so has this been the straw that broke the camel's back?
It has been for us, yeah.
Is there anything that would turn you against Boris Johnson that would perhaps change your mind?
Kind of seen this, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so.
No.
It's no good, I think, running everybody down and running the government down for making this decision, that decision, when they've never had anything to do like this before. And who else would have done any better?
Do you think?
That's the fucking stupidest argument that I keep seeing. All that tells me is you can't defend it. I can't defend why it's good. I can't defend why I haven't done any better. I'm just going to pretend that it's circumstances we couldn't see coming, even though we absolutely did. The problem with the fucking Tories at the moment, when you speak to the Tory voters, they'll act like head in the sand. No one knew we were going to be in this position. No one warned us about Brexit. No one warned us about coronavirus. No one warned us about what the Tories were doing. And we have, because every single step along the way, you said it was scaremongering. You said, oh, we're just being nasty. And now you're just like, well, it hasn't happened how I wanted to, but I can't admit defeat, so I'm just going to pretend I'm above it all, and I'm going to pretend like, oh, it's not their fault. Even though it's fucking decisions they've made, and they've done, where there's been alternatives, they could have went down different paths, and they chose the worst one each time, but you're sitting there pretending like, oh, it's just played out how it is. It's just this lack of critical thinking on one side, and just the blatant ignorance, and I think the lack of empathy, where 100%, I think there's an extent for some people, not necessarily these people, of I know it's bad, I know I was wrong, but I can't admit it, because that means I lose. And once again, that's a problem with partisanship. This idea that if I vote for something, I'm now tied to that, and if it fails, I've failed, so I cannot admit that. And that's bollocks.
Do you think Boris Johnson should resign?
No.
No?
No, not at this stage.
What would you think would turn your head? if the party was proven to exist?
Well, if it was proven, yes, but again, I don't
Pictures
know who
exist,
would
by the way.
step in to his shoes,
Like, we know it
quite
happened.
honestly, because
They've openly laughed about it
I
happening.
really don't. I mean, he's had a bad run. I know that, and he's made a lot of gaffes. But I don't think there is anybody that is what I would say is strong enough to rule this country, to run the country at the moment. There's nobody.
I don't think there's anyone strong enough, so what I'm going to do is pick the objectively worst person for the job and give them carte blanche. That sounds sensible. Sounds like a nice way of ruling a country, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Can you think of a good thing that Boris Johnson has accomplished?
It's just highlights now, isn't it, really?
Do you think the Conservatives will win next week?
In all honesty, yes, they probably will.
What did you make of the resignation of Allegra Stratton yesterday?
I think she was a scapegoat.
You do?
Yes, I do. I think Boris Johnson, he runs the party, he should go.
Do you think?
Oh, this guy again. So that was the person who I just said was laughing about it. She was asked about it, the party, at a press conference, and she's like the spokesperson for Downing Street, stuff like that, the Tory party, and she basically sort of went, "Oh, it was a business meeting. We had cheese and wine. Oh, that's all it was." And it was a proper like schoolgirl, like, "Oh, I'm being a bit cheeky." And yeah, she then appeared a few days later, crying outside Downing Street, delivering a speech for resignation, and it was a horrible performance. To be honest, you can tell it was fake. And yeah, she was a scapegoat. But it just showed just that her attitude there as the face of the fucking party, essentially, as the PR wall, if you want, it just shows her attitude reflects the attitude of the party. They were laughing at the public. They thought they got away with it, and they're pretty happy that they got away with it. And she thought she would have been bulletproof. When the public caught on to this and they started to criticise the party, she was made to resign as if she's the source of that problem, rather than, the people she's actually speaking for, who are telling her what to say and do. It's baffling. Now, let's see what this moron has to say.
People are angry.
I would say personally, no. You can't really, at least here, you can't tell anyone's actually angry, at least they don't actually express it. Maybe disappointed that the people that make the rules don't actually follow said rules themselves. But I think it's the kind of thing you would expect anyway.
It's this apathy, right, that gets me down sometimes. Of if you highlight a lie by a politician, a lie being told to the public by the Prime Minister, you say, "Look at this lie. He is a dodgy cunt. This lie shows it. Look at what he's telling you and how he's behaving differently. Look at how he's misleading you to think one thing when another thing is true." And the response to that sometimes is, all politicians lie. Oh, that's fine then. This idiot genuinely believes it's expected to be corrupt, essentially. It's to be expected that the politicians are corrupt. And this is your problem. This is your problem with the country at the moment. It's a problem with the US as well. Expect more from your fucking politicians. Being corrupt is not okay. Lying to the public is not okay. Get that into your fucking head. Why are you supporting someone you know is lying to you, you know is corrupt, but they're your boy? And all politicians are corrupt anyway, so at least your boy got in. No, not good enough. Pick someone who isn't corrupt. And if you can't find someone who isn't corrupt, why not burn down the system then, I guess, because that's better than just having this constant cycle of bringing in corrupt liars because they're your corrupt liar. It's fucking bollocks. Pathetic.
Got quite a low opinion of
Yeah,
the
I've
politicians.
never had a high opinion of politicians anyway.
Is there anything any party could do to win your vote?
No, not really.
Total apathy. No, not really. No one else can get my vote. It's fucking pathetic. This country has no balls. Same in America. It just needs to stop. So yeah, my advice going forward, guys, is if you are currently a member of a specific party, unless it's a small party that you actively want to play a role in and helping them get elected, that's fine. But if you are a supporter of Labour, Tories, or no, the Lib Dems actually, I would cancel your membership and I would put that money you're spending on the membership elsewhere into an actual group, a special interest group, like a union, for example. Especially if you're a Labour member, your vote will still, for the Labour Party, what happens in the Labour Party is still possible in a union, except you're actually supporting the union. And the union will split from the Labour Party if they stop supporting them, which is the direction I'm actually afraid of at the moment. So yeah, actually back causes you care about. Don't back parties. It's the wrong direction.